All right, all right, all right. We are back. You know, missed y'all last week, but you know, like we told y'all in the beginning, it may be a little bit sporadic once the weather starts getting nice and the basketball starts getting a little more contested. So, but we here now. This is the
Indeed,
best
man.
of both worlds wrestling podcast. I'm Chris,
I'm Khalil.
and we are just gonna jump right into the hot tag, right?
Indeed, man. Not much has changed, even though we take these little mini sabbaticals. Of course, top of the hot tag segment, none other than Phil, CM
My
Punk.
man Philip.
And apparently all systems were go for him to come back to AEW and spearhead their new programming that'll be on Saturday evenings. I'm not sure when the date is for AEW
Yes.
Collision. And apparently there's a holdup with one of his mans, Ace Steel, who apparently has been brought back, but hasn't been active, I guess, touring with any shows and doing any producing. I believe he was a producer. Um,
Yeah.
and I don't know what the beef is, but Mr. Punk don't like that.
So,
What's your opinion?
all right, so to get all the clarity, um, so Warner Brothers Discovery announced that their upfronts on Wednesday, Tuesday or Wednesday, that well, they basically confirmed the long running rumor that AEW is getting a Saturday show. Every Saturday starting June 17th. That's the premiere date. 8 to 10, Collision. It's going to be basically their SmackDown. So it's not going to be treated as like a B show or like a lesser show like Rampage.
Okay.
This is going to be basically Dynamite B. So they're treating it with the same cachet and the same
Production.
grandeur as, yeah, the same production as Dynamite. So apparently, one of the rumors was that a caveat to the show being created was that CM Punk has to be part of it. So with the announcement of the show, everyone's like, all right, CM Punk's coming back. The first show's in Chicago, so it makes
Dead
sense.
giveaway. Dead giveaway.
But then the same afternoon that they announced the show, CM Punk, well, there's a story released by I think the Observer newsletter, the Wrestling Observer, that says there is a delay in CM Punk being brought back because he wanted Ace Steel rehired, but that's seemingly an issue because Ace Steel, according to the reports of the Scrum Gates,
Yeah. Well, they brawl out.
brawl out. He was Ace Steel was the one to throw the chair. He threw the chair at the Young Bucks and allegedly bit Kenny Omega.
Oh, he's the biter.
So he biting.
Oh,
You can tell he got the face of a biter too. Now that I look at it,
you
look at
crazy.
a picture of him, he like, nah, he was definitely in elementary school biting kids on
He
the
had the
shoulder and shit.
chompers.
Yeah, he's one of those weirdos. If you go into using your teeth as a weapon, that's not something you just do like, oh, I never did. That's something you've done before. That's
It's,
ingrained in your personal repertoire of violence.
it's cause to pause.
Yes. So with that being said, him being the main aggressor in Brawl Out, there's an
Okay.
issue with him being brought back.
The truth jump
So
out.
yeah, so it's either I don't know. I heard two different things that he wasn't brought back,
Mhm.
and that's why Punk was initially upset, or he is brought back, but he's not allowed to tour or do anything, which is also why Punk is upset. But whether or not that report is true, what is true is Punk went on social media. He went on Instagram, and then first he posted something to. So I can't find it right now, but it was basically saying don't believe any of the reports. Everyone's reporting on me because I'm the hot topic. They're gonna say whatever they want about me because I'm what's hot in the streets.
I saw a
And
piece of that. He entertains me, man. At the end of it,
yeah,
he's just like, "Yo, man, go touch grass" or something like that. I just
That's
started
the
laughing, man.
go-to. That's the go-to.
Just go
Yeah,
touch
so then he
grass.
posted the video after of him actually ranting about I don't think it was Dave Meltzer as much as it was who the other writers for the Observer is? Dave Meltzer.
It's not satin. I don't think him. That dude be doing
No,
that.
no, no. It's I can't remember. It might be Dave, but it's David another guy. I can't remember his name for the life of me because
You don't be.
I don't read the Observer. You know, I'm not.
Yeah, I've never read the Wrestling Observer. That's a fun fact. I had one. I think one time when I was a lot younger, I think my mom was seeing a guy, and for Christmas, this dude got me a subscription to like some joint called like Pro Wrestling Digest.
Mhm.
It's basically like I think they had like a soap opera digest or whatever, and they had a pro wrestling digest, and
Yeah,
it was like a dirt sheet. It looked like a TV guidebook, like a real small booklet, and every
like
month
how
or every other month it'll
like
come
how the
with
Reader's Digest used to look.
exactly. That's it. I'm sorry, not
Okay.
soap opera. So then Reader's Digest is what I'm
No,
thinking of.
no, they had soap opera digest too, because my
Oh,
grandmother
okay,
used to get that shit all the time.
man. And that was my little dirt sheet for like a year. I had like a year, so I was hype. I was like, that was like one of the coolest gifts. I don't even know how old. I might have been like 13, 14. But he held
So
it down. He held it down there. Yeah, that shit was fire.
you had the literal physical dirt sheets.
Yeah,
Like
man.
I ain't catch on until it was just all on the internet. But my
But
thing is,
I find myself being older now. Like I'm not as interested. Like I like to be just entertained. You know.
but see, here's the thing. Like, so being a journalism school dropout, I look at wrestling journalism as I don't look at it the same as I did back then.
Okay.
Like, it's the majority of wrestling journalism is speculatory.
Yes.
It's I heard this from somewhere, this may or may not be true, but I'm going to report it anyway because you need content to put out there. Because let's be honest, it's not that much happening outside the ring in wrestling for there to be a constant news cycle.
Sure.
So you had to speculate, you had to dig up old stories and this, that, and the third. And I think that's the thing that frustrates wrestlers because it's all speculatory, but the way they report it is as if it's fact.
Correct.
And then it's
Correct.
like, is it
And
really journalism?
and I know they're even more annoyed because 99% of the people that speak on these things have never taken a bump, and they're just like, bro, you don't even know what this life is like, man.
Yeah, like, and
So
I
I
mean,
get it.
in defense of wrestling journalists, they have sources in the business, so it's not like it's not all purely speculative. They get inside information, but
Some sources are more reputable than others. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Or some journalists, I should say, are more reputable than others. And
yeah,
so I've caught on to that pattern. I definitely agree with you.
there's a lot of sensationalism and
Mm-hmm.
hot takes for the sake of hot takes just to get clicks. But it's crazy because the nature of wrestling is, if we're being honest, pre-scripted. Everything is, I don't want to use the word fake, but everything
No.
is pre-scripted, predetermined. So
Yeah.
it's tough to be a legitimate journalist in a business like that where you can report something and if they want, they could change the story. Like the company could change things and make your story look false
You can.
because they control the narrative.
Yeah, the best shot they have is since both. Well, at least in terms of WWE, if you're a publicly traded company,
Yeah,
they can speak on maybe contracts and stuff like that. Like those are things that can't really be moved like that. But yeah, when it comes to the actual product and the creative, they could spin it as much as they want. So yeah, you got to
yeah,
tread lightly when it comes to that type of thing. I would suppose.
yeah. So I
Yeah,
see like I could sense the wrestler's frustration from that because it's not just Punk. It's my man was it Dax from FTR,
that's my guy, man. I love that
aka
tag team. I
FTR.
hate they're gonna be in AEW forever, man. Come back to the big leagues. I'm sorry, they're gonna hate me for saying that.
Now you know what it is though. It's just they don't like the state of the tag team division in WWE. Like if the tag team division was better, they would have went back like no questions asked. I think, but it's just
How be on a tangent, but fuck it. Like, how good is the AEW tag division?
I don't think as much is good as much as it's just prominent. Like there's always
Like, what I mean is there's talent. I'm not saying there's not no
yeah
talent there, but how what are the stories? You know what I mean? Like, I don't. there is a little bit of story between FTR and who is it now?
They're doing on Jared and Lethal.
Okay, and I seen Karen Jarrett came back. I seen a piece of that, but like, you know, outside of that, like they have their own flubs. Like the Ass Boys was the champions. I don't know why. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or not to say they're
That
not
was
deserving, but that whole
yeah.
it didn't make sense for that story to me.
Yeah.
Like they dropped the ball on their own too. So like, you know, maybe they just feel more encouraged that their voice would be heard in AEW possibly.
Yeah.
You know?
And they have, and it feels like they got they like the freedom of being able to still take extra bookings, because I've noticed that they want to do that belt collector thing. So in order to do that, you got to have the freedom to wrestle in other promotions and for other championships.
Man, I thought
So
they already collected them joints, but no doubt.
yeah, but I feel they FTR is huge on their legacy. It's the one thing I've noticed about them the last couple of years. They're huge. Like they have an old school mentality when it comes to wrestling. So championships and legacy is really important to them. So they want to
Cement that.
yeah,
Okay.
basically as many notches in the belt as you can, face as many tag teams as you can. Because more than winning the championships, I think what they want to do is have the chance to face other tag teams that they wouldn't get a chance to face if they were just in WWE.
I
Because they
could
want to be the
respect
best in
that.
the world. So you have to fight other tag teams from other promotions all over the world. So, but and I'm sure Tony Khan threw the bag at him.
Hopefully, I mean, I would assume so. I just
Yeah, he threw the bag at him. Like it wasn't gonna be as big as the bag as you could give him, but it was big enough to make him happy.
I guess so. I guess so. You know, I'm East Coast biased, man. What can I say?
Yeah,
But no doubt, no doubt. So Punk Ace Steel, that's one Bochinche.
yeah. But wait, oh, one more thing. So after Punk's whole social media rant, Warner Brothers Discovery released a statement saying CM Punk wasn't involved in Collision.
Oh, geez. Well, there goes a downer.
Yeah, but now the reports are like it wasn't that they're not saying he wasn't a part of the show. They're saying the show just wasn't contingent on his return. So whether he returned or not, the show's still gonna
It was
happen. I
happening.
think they were just killing the rumors that this was the CM Punk show.
Oh
So
yeah, I was hoping that wasn't. It doesn't make sense. This whole idea we kind of touched on this episodes before about like, oh, the roster, we're gonna split the roster with the people that want to work with Punk. Like that is
yeah,
just that is
yeah,
just asinine.
yeah.
You know what
I
I mean?
mean, there are
Everybody
reports.
grow up, man. Everybody grow up. People scuffle. You go your way,
Yeah,
I go my way. Give me a break, yo. Give me a
there
break.
are there are reports that he did request some people to be on Collision with him. So I think the first feud is gonna be Samoa Joe because they got history. They best friends from way back. Like I have a shoot interview DVD of CM Punk and Samoa Joe from like 2007. Like this is before
I've caught
either of
some of
them
their
were
stuff.
even
They've had
big.
more than a trilogy. They've had a bunch of matches.
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
they go way back. So I think that's just to give someone Punk's comfortable being with, because remember he's still coming off an injury too. So it's not like he could
Hey,
just
man.
jump back and go full bore.
At this point, the both of them must be coming off an injury.
Yeah.
Samoa Joe
Well,
be getting
Joe,
Samoa Joe was like Chris Paul, boy. Like
yeah, he be getting real
he gets
nicky
nicked
neck
up too.
injuries.
You get them little nicky. Oh, please. You didn't even see the injury, man. Damn.
I know, right? But that should be good. And then I think the plan is they're gonna, after the feud with Joe, they might do a title feud with MJF again. And then
That was a great
he's
feud. I
yeah,
enjoyed that feud.
yeah. And then
But question, how do you do that? What kind of reception would you expect for Punk when he gets back? Because
well,
MJF
I
is
think that's why they plan to return to be Chicago.
okay,
Like
but
I
they're
think
not.
that's
But then they're confirming that he's pretty much not coming back in Chicago. We don't know that.
it's up in the air. Like he's the last thing I read was that he's back. Like he's still coming back on Collision. It's still a go. He's not I think he wanted to deny that the A Steel thing was an issue. So
Okay,
that's why he really went on the rant on social media, because he didn't want it to seem like, oh, I'm not as petty to fuck this whole shit up over hiring of a friend, you know. So, but we'll see. It's still a little over a month away,
I don't know,
or a
bro.
little less than a month away, I
You
should
want me to
say.
stay home on Saturday night for any reason? Your best chance is to make CM Punk come back. So let Tony
Yeah,
Khan know that. Or I'm gonna be
yeah,
somewhere with some libations, not caring.
you know,
You know what I
especially if
mean?
it's not 90 degrees out.
Stand me like, yeah, if it's raining on Collision Day, I'll
Oh
be front
yeah,
and
then
center.
you know it. And so I think that will eliminate Saturday pay-per-views for AEW going forward too.
Okay.
Because if Collision's on at 8, you can have your pay-per-view Saturday at 8. So I think they might be sticking to the Sunday pay-per-views, which makes sense because I think WWE is going to mostly stick to the Saturday.
We'll see what they're doing, man. I don't know
Yeah,
what's
they
the
back and
logic
forth with
behind
it.
them, but
Yeah. I mean, I like the idea of Saturday pay-per-views in the winter.
I think they're cool. I think they're cool if you're someone attending a show.
True,
You know
true.
what I
So the
mean?
next day, if you don't have to worry about having to go to work and this, that,
And
and the
it's just a
third.
cool thing to do on a Saturday night. And then if you get out, if you grown and you get out at like
Yeah,
11:30, like you still could have a night.
yeah.
You know what I
And you
mean?
know
Like
what the thing is? So I was thinking about it. Collision being on a Saturday on cable, they could be a little bit. I think that show might be a little bit more adults. And I think AEW, I think Dynamite will get scaled back a tiny bit to
because they in
be more
prime
fan
time.
friendly.
Okay.
Yeah, to be more fan friendly. So you might not see as much blood and stuff on Dynamite, but I think you'll still see the same amount on Collision, which should be good. And I'm excited because AEW has a huge roster, and there's a lot of people that
That
I
don't
think
get
need more
showcased.
screen time
Yeah.
that will. So like Will Hobbs,
See, that's
Starks,
another thing that why did he lose the belt so quick? Like I'm just a whole tangent, but like that I don't make no
yeah,
sense. You trying to establish him, book a Hobbs and all of that, and then he lose the belt? Like,
yeah.
cut it out, bro.
That should make no sense to me,
Come
especially to
on,
give it back
Tony.
to Wardlow, who's had the belt like it seems like he's a four-time champion out less than like 2 years.
I'm not mad. He can have the belt. It's just about when and how. Why is it
Yeah,
happening? That's all.
yeah,
I like Wardlow. I got no beef with dude. You know, but like why is it happening? I don't want nothing
yeah,
happening for the sake of happening. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
That's
Was there
true.
any I'm on super tangent. I'm gonna get to the next thing in a second. But was there any progress this week in the Miro stuff?
No, so here's the thing. So what I read is that that was done. So like Miro and Thunder Rosa popping up was done to for Collision.
Mm.
So I think so apparently there's a list of wrestlers CM Punk wanted on Collision, and Hobbs was one of them because he said he wants Hobbs to start getting a bigger push. Um, who else is on? Andrade,
So they're really
El
splitting the
Idolo.
rosters.
Well, it's gonna be it's a soft split. So that there's certain wrestlers that will definitely be
You know what it
on
reminds me of?
Collision.
Like watching Velocity and Hardcore Hollywood was always on that shit.
Yo, the King of Velocity, the King of
You know, Sunday
Velocity.
Night Heat Raven was always on that shit.
Yo, for real,
I kind of see what they
staples,
said.
staples. But so they'll be the champions will be on both shows, and I think the only real hard roster sets you'll see will be like the elite staying on Dynamite, unless the story really calls for them to be on Collision. And then and I'm not going to say the Blackpool Combat Club because Brian Danielson is going to be apparently going to be part of the creative team for Collision.
Yeah, look at them getting their little producer caps on him.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
so
DB.
he had a stint doing it for SmackDown. Like
Okay.
during the pandemic, he did during the pandemic. He was a producer for SmackDown too. So
All
like the
right.
whole, I think they said he was the reason behind like Drew Gulak getting that big push, and like him and that feud he had with Drew Gulak was his idea and
They
everything.
had
But
they had good matches, man.
yeah, so we'll see, and that's a good thing to hear that Tony is willing to give up some creative control.
Yeah, man.
and not be the sole booker.
He's got to work on Tyler Perry now, man. Good job,
Yeah.
Tony.
Yeah.
Good job.
Stop monopolizing. You spread too thin in life anyway with all the shit you're doing. You spread
Exactly.
too thin.
Absolutely. Also, I guess
Yeah.
we could skim on this real quick. We don't spend much time on it, but this is also all a result of this rumored big time deal that AEW has with Warner Brother Discovery. A lot of this promotion of this new content sort of is supposed to coincide with possible streaming deal where I guess you could get like AEW pay-per-views and whatnot while running like HBO Max, which is going to be just known as Max soon and stuff like that. So all this is a part of this whole initiative, apparently. That's the rumor.
Yeah, so I heard the number was 52 million. But I don't know if that's over a number of years or if that's just for this. I'm gonna assume it's over a number of years, because when I heard 1 billion and I was like, nah, that's no. WWE hasn't even gotten a $1 billion TV deal, so no.
Nah, they got one, but it's over 5 years. The Fox deal, I believe, was $1 billion, but it was over 5 years.
Oh, okay. But then but also Warner Brothers Discovery is notoriously cheap. They've canceled shows left and right off HBO Max, and that's why HBO Max is just Max now. Like they canceled like 20 shows.
They canceled
like shows that were in development and shows that had already aired.
I'll never forgive them for canceling Love Life, boy. Love Life season 2, the Black season. Oh man, the first season was good too. Don't get me wrong. But season 2 was a show.
Listen, they canceled my Westworld, even though I feel like I was the only person still watching that show.
They got a lot of nerve. I don't know. I suck at watching shows personally.
Yeah.
Lately I've been sucking at watching wrestling because of the NBA playoffs. Get it together, LeBron. By the way, get it together.
Ooh, listen, yo, I put in a parlay last night.
Son, me too.
I forgot to hit confirm, so I still have my money. Thank goodness.
You lucky, man. AD was 2 points away from the 20 I thought he was gonna get, and Jokic was 2 points away from the 25 I thought he was gonna get. Everybody else hit their joint. Man, they always.
If you're it was a low scoring game too, so I wasn't expecting much. But thank goodness I ain't hit confirm. Thank goodness. It was one of those wild ones, like $15 to win you $850.
Oh, that was a long one. Then I was like, a lot of things. Right.
Yeah, I had like 7 different legs on that parlay, looking crazy.
Good night.
But he had 52 million for AEW, so things are looking bright on the business side for them, which is good.
It's promising.
It's always good for more wrestling. It's always good for the business when other companies are being successful
and they're viable, and people want to get down with them. I'm not
and then finally getting to see wrestlers I want to get shine, like, and especially younger wrestlers who need more reps on TV.
Yeah, for sure.
So I get to see more Keith Lee, more Swerve, more. Well, one half of Private Party is injured, so that's why it's been this whole.
I need them to step. They got to step up there. They got to step up there like attire quality, man. They be throwing me off at Private Party. They need to get some.
Oh yeah.
Because that's what Street Profits got over them boys. Like, yo, man, they come through some fly gear, man.
Let me tell you something.
Know who they are.
If there's one thing I could do in the wrestling business, I could manage Private Party. I could be their manager. If not, they should be with someone like Stokely. But Stokely has his whole thing going on anyway. But
they pass Stokely around way too much, man. Do they still do the thing with the velvet rope for the entrance?
Well, here's the thing. It hasn't been Mark. So Mark Quinn, the one who had the blonde mohawk.
Yeah.
He's been out for months with an injury.
Oh, he's been hurt. Okay.
Yeah, he's been out for months with the injury. So they haven't. So every match has just been Isaiah and Matt, or Isaiah and Matt and someone else as a variation of that. So it's been like him come. There's a mashup of themes. So there's no velvet rope or anything like that.
That was my favorite thing about. I mean, they did cool high flying stuff, but that entrance gold to me with the security there. Oh
Hell
man,
yeah.
that was
Well,
entertaining as
listen,
hell.
this run gave us Brother Zay, the alter ego to Isaiah Cassidy, who is, you should watch his vlog too.
Brother.
Isaiah, he is like the most New York young wrestler from New York. Like Eddie Kingston's a New York dude. You could tell. You see him, you hear him speak, you know he's a New York dude.
He's uptown.
Yeah, he's uptown. But
Yeah, I
Isaiah
can hear
Cassidy,
him.
because it's always him and Daniel Garcia, because they buddies, like going to the club, doing this, like just basically it's like Side Talk
Yeah,
NYC meets a wrestling blog and mash that up together. That's Isaiah's blog.
I'm about to
I
check
love
that
that
out.
shit.
That
Yeah.
sounds entertaining.
And I gotta support my boys, man.
Entertainers.
You know, I got a soft spot for Private Party. So
You seen them
I'm always
come
gonna
up.
have love for them. Hell yeah.
I understand. Going on to what's happening. Well, not this weekend, but next weekend, we got two big time pay-per-views.
Mm-hmm.
You got Night of Champions out in Saudi Arabia, which will feature for the first time Sami Zayn. They're being
I
nice.
hope he's making a trip.
Yeah, they're being nice to the folks of his lineage now. I forget. I think this his lineage is Syrian, I believe, and
Yeah, I think so.
they kind of calmed down whatever issues they had and are welcoming of his people. And so I guess he's gonna work the show.
Okay.
And then you got Double or Nothing next week for AEW.
On Sunday.
Sunday. So I feel like you're certainly a little bit more tapped in with AEW. So I'll let you run down their card.
Yeah.
And I'll run down this Night of Champions card. And I'll give you just some quick hits of what I think will happen ultimately, and you could do the same. But what we got here is Becky Lynch versus Trish Stratus, which is more like a grudge match.
Okay.
Trish has proven herself to me in her returns. Like she could still do some things, man. Like she could still have a one-on-one match and be cool. I really liked her Charlotte match. Becky Lynch has been having amazing matches since she came back after having her child, man. So she ain't lost a step. So I think they'll be good. I look forward to that. Rhea Ripley versus Natalia. I guess that just came out the blue. This is just busy work for Rhea Ripley. I love Natalia. No shade on her at all.
Yeah, the annual let's pop out Natalia for a feud real quick.
I mean, but her legacy is set. But Rhea Ripley needs to beat established people to bolster her run. So I'm not mad at that. Mustafa Ali, same sort of situation. I caught the end of that battle royal on Raw, and I'm like, all right, they're going to Saudi Arabia, so they want to big up Mustafa Ali. So I understand that. So hope he's not gonna win. That's my guy Gunther, but I know he'll put on a good showing if they give him a little time. I know he'll put on a good showing for the people there.
Congratulations to Gunther too. I think he just got married recently.
I think I've seen that. I think I've seen him shaking the leg over there. Hell for his character, but I peeped, but it won't. I still suspend disbelief, man. That man don't like to dance.
Nah.
You got Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens against Roman Reigns and Solo. I pretty much think Sami and KO win, but but this is gonna further the bloodline schism, and like something's gonna happen that will continue to wedge a gap between the Usos and Roman and Solo. That's how I look at that.
Listen, how wide does this gap need to be wedged? They've been wedging this gap for years, it feels like.
Yeah, because they're not ready to take the title off of Roman yet, so they got to keep wedging. Lesnar and Cody Rhodes. Brock probably gets his win back. But if he doesn't, I'd be surprised.
Is this a tournament match?
No, I don't think so.
The tournament's after, right?
No, so like apparently we're gonna get to that in a second. But I think they already did the final matches that Night of Champions. They already got the tournament final. So I'm gonna get.
Oh, okay.
But I think Brock probably gets his win back. I really like the ending of their match at Backlash. It was just very smart and very like, bro, it's a wrestling move. Jim Ross always says that. Like, what's wrong being beat by a wrestling move? Like, it was a wrestling move. You got me in a hold. I lean back. You ain't kick out. It's a
Boom.
win, bro. I'm leaving with that. You know.
You get fluky wins in sports all the time. So like,
yeah, it does happen. And then you got the main event is AJ Styles versus Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight title. So they both beat their respective people to get to this point. A lot of people think that they WWE might swerve us and give the title to Styles instead of Rollins. I mean, I'm not gonna be mad, but the momentum that Seth has, it'll be good for him to just. It's okay sometimes to just let it be what the people want. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right. You don't need to jerk everybody
that
around
crowd
for the
gonna be
sake
doing
of
the
it.
song and the whole thing, and let
yeah.
them have the moment. Let them have.
Although I want to say that I am very happy with the way like AJ's been treated in WWE because I swore up and down every time I watched TNA. I was like, this dude is great, but if he went to WWE, I don't know if they would fuck with him because of his size.
He came along the right. He got free at the right time. That contract went up at the right time.
Definitely.
Because I agree. I used to watch him and think he's absolutely the best thing on this show. And everything else sort of followed after because I didn't think he was great on the mic or anything like that, but I was never disappointed with his matches.
Never. He never had a bad match.
Never. Like it was always fun and cool. Yeah, so yeah, he's pretty good. I'm glad he's healthy and he's back.
Yes.
That's the card for Night of Champions. That is on May 27th, next Saturday.
Listen, I will say this. I always thought it was risky to run pay-per-views on Memorial Day weekend. Like that's the unofficial start of summer.
Yeah.
But granted, I feel like maybe everyone's doing their thing during the day while the sun is out, going to the beach, and then they'll be tired. Well, not tired, but they'll be at home, relaxed, ready to watch the pay-per-view. So maybe that's the theory behind it. But like, that's a big. Let's throw a barbecue, go to the beach weekend.
No, 1,000%.
So
1,000%.
So that's for Saturday, and then Sunday. All right. So then this Sunday, well, not this Sunday, next Sunday, AEW is going to run their pay-per-view, Double or Nothing, out of Las Vegas. And here's the card so far. I don't think it's complete.
Okay.
Because AEW had a tendency. So when they have a pay-per-view that runs the same night of a playoff game,
okay,
they tend to pack the card with matches because they want the main event to happen after the game is done.
I had never caught on to that. That's really
they did that shit last year, and that shit was annoying. It was like there was like 2 or 3 matches on the card that were unnecessary, and the pay-per-view ended like after 1 a.m.
I do remember that vaguely. Was that a Double or Nothing show?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, because they had they just randomly threw on Darby Allin versus Kyle O'Reilly. I forgot what the other matches were.
I vaguely remember this.
Yeah, it was like pre-show matches that should have been on the pre-show, but were on the main card because he wanted the main event to start after the game was done, which was I don't know. Like, who's gonna turn off the game and say, "All right, now it's time to watch wrestling"? You either watch them both at the same time, or you watching one or the other.
Straight up.
Simple.
Straight up.
Here's the card so far. So we have the projected main event, the Fatal 4-Way between the 4 pillars. So MJF, Jungle Boy, Sammy Guevara, and Darby Allin. Should be a good match, like in ring wise. I'm interested to see what's the story that they're gonna tell. Because it's always interesting in MJF's matches because like his thing is he's so skilled as a wrestler, but he still cheats to win. And like you have all this skill, it shouldn't be necessary for you to cheat to win. But we're gonna see how they're gonna work around. I think he wins. He retains the title. Like
I definitely think he retains.
Yeah, I think that's a no-brainer.
But I think the drama is they're gonna have some singles feuds that's gonna spawn out of this. Like somebody's gonna keep someone else from getting the win.
Yeah,
That's gonna
Yeah,
make them have their own thing.
that's how
Um,
I kind of see it going. Maybe Sammy and Jungle Boy, because I don't see. I think Darby Allin's going to move on to another feud, or he's going to move on to getting ready for Sting's retirement. Like he needs to spend as much time with Sting now before Sting's done. So I think he goes right back to that after this.
so you think they're gonna do
Just
something with Sting and retiring soon?
well, I think they're gonna. It depends on what his contract is up, but he says this is his last year. I just don't know if it's up in like the summer or the end of the year or the beginning of the next year.
Okay.
So people are assuming that he'll probably be on the UK card because it's such a big show, and it's like you're not gonna have a show like that without having Sting.
I want a one-on-one singles Sting match. You can't convince me that he can't do it.
Now he can do it.
He could give you 9 to 11 minutes. Yes, he
Yeah,
can. Yes,
yeah,
he can.
he definitely can.
Yes, he can. Get your shit in, like they say. He could just get his shit in.
That's it. Just do the hits.
Win or lose, he could get his shit in.
Boom.
What Scorpion Death Drop, Stinger Splash, Scorpion Death Lock,
You know, give him the
couple
10 punch
screens,
on the ropes with the woo.
beat your
That's
chest
what
one time. You know what I
do
mean?
you oh, you know what they should do?
Couple
You think
drop
they would
kicks.
lower him? You think they would lower him from the rafters for his last match? Or is that too risky?
I don't know about risky. I don't think. I think because of how Wembley state set up, I don't
Oh
see
yeah,
it.
for Wembley, yeah. Not in Wembley, it won't
Because they
happen
kind of did
unless they do.
something with Logan Paul, but SoFi has a roof.
Yeah.
You know
In
what
the
I mean?
stadium like that, you have to do a zip line. You couldn't do
I
just
mean,
lowering from the
they may
cables.
have the thing covering the ring, but it's like you can clearly see when you're gonna put him up there, and
Yeah,
not gonna have
yeah,
that effect.
yeah. Because yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? It would be
Well,
nice.
if that ends up being his last match, because like I think they'll do his last match, and still he'll be on the card for the UK just because he should be.
Yeah,
But I think
his
his
last match will be
last
in the
match will be
States.
yeah, it'll be stateside.
Definitely stateside, man.
All right. So what else we have? So just made this past Wednesday with the return of the one-eyed bandit Hangman Adam Page. It will be the Elite
Yeah.
versus the BCC Anarchy in the Arena. This is the second Anarchy in the Arena match. The last one was again BCC,
Oh,
but it
you're
was against
right. You
the
know,
Jericho Appreciation Society.
I'm thinking about the Stadium
What do you think
Stampede.
about Stadium Stampede?
It's the same shit to me.
Yeah. No, here's the thing. So it is the same match, but it's because they weren't in the stadium.
Right,
They
right,
just
right.
had to change like the visual and the name of it, so it became
Anarchy.
Anarchy Indian Arena. But
Okay.
that one it was a fun match last time they had it. Like I think the first 6 minutes of the match had Moxley's music constantly playing on repeat, like he was New Jack.
That's
But
funny.
that should be a fun match, and I think
Good
that's gonna
reference.
be. I don't think that's the blow off to the feud
No, I don't think
because
this is their first time
AEW,
clashing.
yeah, AEW
Yeah.
likes to do we'll do one thing and then we'll do it another time just bigger. So I think it'll be this, and then the blow off will be
In the cell, like the cell thing they did last time.
yeah,
What
yeah.
they
The
call that?
I almost called it War Games.
Yeah,
Um,
it's like that though.
oh damn,
It was 2 rings also, right? Or no?
yeah, it's 2 rings,
Yeah, man.
two
Yeah.
rings.
Basically war games, yo. Whatever.
Damn, the name I had the name on the tip of my tongue. It's good. It's probably going to come back to me, but that I think that'll be the blow off, and I think because that's typically 5-on-5.
Right.
So
Oh,
I
blood and
think
guts.
blood and guts,
Blood
yes.
and guts.
So I think what will happen is I think the Blackpool Combat Club wins Anarchy in the Arena.
I feel that way too.
Yeah, and I think a fifth person interferes to cost the Elite the match, and Elite gets a fifth member. So then they have the 5-on-5 build to Double or Nothing. And I'm thinking Takeshita will be on BCC side because Don Callis already just screwed Kenny over. And then I think they're gonna get Ibushi, Kota Ibushi, um, who had a cup of coffee in the WWE during the Cruiserweight Classic years ago. he's Kenny
remember him.
Omega's like best friend. So I think he'll be on the elite side.
Do you think when they get to that point, do you think that show happens? Or sorry, do you think that match happens at the London show?
No, I think that match happens on the pay-per-view after All Out the next week.
Oh, All Out. That'll give people a
Yeah.
reason to watch All Out.
Yeah. So I think they'll save it for that.
Oh, that's smart.
Yeah.
Cause that's the same.
So
them shits is like a week apart, right?
Yeah. Now, tentatively, we'll see.
Okay.
All right. Also announced this past Wednesday, Jamie Hayter and Tony Storm rematch for the belt, the women's title, which should be a good match, but I just don't. This whole Outcast story has been all over the place. I don't know how. Like, because Jamie and Britt fought Soraya and Tony on Dynamite and lost. So I'm thinking that's the end of it.
What's the intrigue, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You brought all these other wrestlers in, so I'm guessing that feud does not end at this pay-per-view either, and they're gonna push that to Double or Nothing, and I think they're gonna have it's 3 members of, if it stays, the Outcasts are outnumbered, so they're gonna have to give them a couple of members to even it out, but I have a feeling that Tony has been wanting to do a woman's Blood and Guts. And I think this is the way he gets to it. So it'll be interesting to see. Because you know him, if he's the advocate for women's hardcore matches in the US. So I think that's the way they're gonna go. So I think I don't know who wins this Sunday actually. I honestly don't know who wins. It could go either way.
I think I'll go if you're still building to a bigger match, and I'll go with the heels going over in this one.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
So I
but
think
then if it's
what are they called? What are they called? Not Social Outcasts, right?
No, just the Outcasts.
Okay, sorry, that's like from the T-shirt I'm thinking about, right? I'm bugging.
Yeah. But like the other thing I'm thinking is if they're gonna build, if the feud's gonna continue to the next pay-per-view, that means when you go to the UK, do you not want the belt on Jamie Hayter or Soraya, since they're both UK stars, or does it not matter to have them with the belt?
Maybe they do like a
little switcheroo, little transitional title change.
Well, maybe just give them a moment to just have a match,
Yeah.
a lumberjill match.
Yeah, true.
That.
No, I hate those matches. I hate lumberjack matches.
They make me laugh, man. I actually don't mind them.
Like if you could book them well, they're good.
Yeah, man. If you could really do them up.
Yeah. The thing is, they book all the exact same way now. Half the lumberjacks are heels, half are faces. The heels attack the face when they come out. The faces attack the heels. The heels and faces are attacking each other now. There's no lumberjacks. Boom, 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 boom.
I think in this scenario, there's more stakes, or there's more because there's more allegiance with the people involved. It don't gotta be a bunch of people. It could just be the people involved. It could be them 2 or 3 other ladies outside, and the other 2 or 3. Like it could just be them 6 people, and they might have their own conflicts outside at different moments. It could feel like it's more meaningful. I understand what you're saying. Like
I like that.
When in doubt, lumberjack. I know they like to do that shit. When in doubt, put on a lumberjack shirt. So I understand.
Or when in doubt, do a battle royal.
Right. You know what I mean? So I get that.
Which is a transition to the next match on the card. There's going to be a battle royal for the international championship. So
that's OJ, right?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So actually, I got to double check. I don't know if it's a battle royal for the belt or a battle royal for the #1 contender for the belt.
Okay.
I just got to double check that. But so that's happening. Also on the card, Wardlow versus Christian for the TNT title.
Okay.
The story behind that is, so everyone's like, why the hell does Christian get a title match all of a sudden? And Christian's answer is basically because I'm the fucking man. So be mad. Like I said I want the title shot, boom, I'm getting it. And you know, he's cutting those
is still
promos.
his muscle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Luchasaurus now with some shoulder shit, some big spiky shoulder armor now. He every time he comes back, he's like he gets more experience points and upgrades his armor.
Okay.
But I think Wardlow's gonna go over, but I'm interested to see because Christian's a great storyteller in the ring. So
Yeah,
I
he's
want to
good
see how
stuff.
that goes.
Mm-hmm.
And he's been doing this whole, he's been healing it up extra. Had that promo last week about Wardlow's dead dad and
Oh God, he always
and
fuck with
Arn's
people, dead
dead
people,
son,
man.
and Arn's dead son. Just
He said
pushing the
something about
envelope,
Arn's
if you
son.
will. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh no!
Pushing the envelope.
What the fuck?
Yeah. I was like,
Oh
damn, that's kind of fresh for him
nah,
still.
I gotta go watch that promo now. I'm gonna go
Yeah.
check it out
Yeah.
after. Oh, I can't imagine the heat.
Oh, it was crazy. It was crazy.
Oh
So we'll see. Yeah, Wardlow goes over, and then I'll see. Interesting to see where both wrestlers go after that. But
wow,
what
wow.
else?
Okay,
The last match, which I think won't be the last match announced. I think they'll announce more matches next week. But FTR versus Jeff Jarrett and Lethal for the tag team titles.
that's gonna be entertaining.
Yeah.
If Jarrett could still go, man.
Jarrett is still good at this, man. This might be the best he's been because I think I'm enjoying him now more than his initial Planet Jarrett TNA run. But he's
My favorite
still,
is always gonna be friggin' slap, not slap nuts, but like don't piss me off attitude era.
yeah.
I like this music. When he comes back in WWE, they never use that attitude era music. I'm like, that's the song, boy.
Where they
That's
go
what
back
it
to
is.
the
It's like a
they go back to the slower country one that he had.
no, it's like boom, but don't, don't. It's like
Oh, because you know what
yeah,
they did? They gave that I think when he left, they made that Deborah's music
yes,
because Deborah was his manager before he
yes,
left. So yeah, they made
yes.
that Deborah's music when he
That
left.
man, that
Yeah.
joint heat. They keep bringing them back with that slow joint. I'm like, bruh, we need that other joint because that the
Nah,
dude
they're
was on
using a
the.
new generation.
There's some pianos in that joint. There's some like a harmonica in that joint. Oh please,
Oh,
shout out Jeff
so
Jarrett.
they using a thing he had when he was beefing with Road Dogg and shit.
Yeah. Oh,
Oh, okay, okay.
we mean like oh yeah that well the one that they use when
Well,
he comes.
not to be my baby tonight actual
No,
song,
no,
but
his original joint, that original slow. Yeah.
yeah, sound like the fucking Jackass theme song.
Yes, I'm not with that.
Okay, yeah, I don't like that either. Yeah, the Attitude
I'm
Era
not with
one's
that.
much better,
The
much
joint that
better.
he's using now that he been that TNA song, I liked it. I fuck with that.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
very distinct. I just appreciate that it's distinct. You
yeah.
know.
Because as soon as you heard it, I was like, oh, it's Planet Jarrett,
Yeah.
Planet Jarrett, which was a great stable, by the way. They One of my favorite skits from early TNA is Planet Jarrett doing the funeral for the Dudley Boys. Hilarious, hilarious.
Nah,
Because I think it was Jarrett, America's Most Wanted. I forgot who else was in Planet Jarrett, but it was just a hilarious skit.
get
But
well by
yeah,
the rule.
he still got it. Jeff still got it, man. In the ring, like he's in phenomenal shape.
And he
He
knows how to be a bad guy, man. That's all. He just knows how to be
Yeah,
a bad guy.
yeah. Like that's still like there's certain old school tendencies in wrestling that will never age or never get old.
Mm-hmm.
And Jarrett is one of those people. He knows all the things that just he
Yeah.
can be this in any era of wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Like the same shtick and it'll work.
You see, and that's why I appreciate MJF because he'll do certain little things where I'm like, these things when people be losing these little nuggets. Like,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, he'll do little stuff like
It's the intangibles. The
yeah, just
intangibles,
like
man.
when people, when the heels like you got them in a hole and they'll run to the rope. Hey man, I'm on the rope. Let me go.
Yeah,
Or you try to get
yeah,
in the ring, get him back. Get him back.
yeah,
Like little stuff like that.
yeah.
I get a kick out of it.
It seems tropish, but it's shit that works in wrestling. Like it's
Listen,
shit that works.
it adds to the importance of what's happening. That's all.
Yeah.
That's all.
So I think FCR is gonna win that match, obviously, but it'll be I was like, why is this match happening? But I think I think FCR just wanted to work with Jeff Jarrett.
Yeah,
Like
it's
that's
cool.
it.
It's cool.
Like
It's
like it's
something to
old school
do.
guys wrestling guy with old school mentality. It makes sense.
But
So
that group, I mean, that team is sort of over.
yeah, yeah,
You know what I mean? Like Jeff
they made
Jarrett
it
and Jay
work.
Lethal is so like I'm ever since they linked up for Ric Flair last match,
Yeah, yeah,
they've been doing their thing. So
yeah.
I don't got no
And
beef with it.
it makes sense because they had the Mark Briscoe tie-in. So
Mm-hmm.
that's the thing. Mark's gonna be the special guest referee for that match.
Yeah, that'd be fun. That'd be fun.
So yeah, that'll be a nice fun match. And FTR goes over 100%. But
Eventually, you'll find Jada an opponent, or she'll have a promo that night or something like that. I'm sure.
yeah.
Shout out to
So I think I saw spoilers for Rampage.
okay.
So I believe Ty Valkyrie comes out and challenges Jade again for the belt at the pay-per-view. So that'll be because their last title match it was she couldn't use her finisher. So I think that would be stipulation all moves that let me use my finisher, blah blah blah. And
Something
then
needs to happen with Jade either at the London show or All Out, where not
yeah,
necessarily where she loses, but that she makes a statement like, "All right, bro, I'm up to the big
yeah,
time now." You know what I
yeah.
mean?
I'm
They got
dropping this. I want the world title,
yeah,
like
like they
something
need to
like
do
that.
that. Yeah, they need to do that. The same way, I mean, Oscar left NXT, never lost. Like at this point, yeah, Jade, like
Yeah,
start
and then
running through the main roster shorties.
I think they will add a trios title match. I just don't know. I don't know against who.
House
So
rules.
yeah, and I love the House of Black, so
House rules.
it'll be good seeing them on the pay per view. And then they'll add some pre show stuff. So we'll see next Wednesday. They do. That's the other thing. Like they don't take it easy the show before the pay per view.
Right.
Like they'll go hard the show before the pay per view. So next Wednesday should be another good show. They had two back to back really good shows. So yeah, and that's it for Double or Nothing so far.
It's a big wrestling weekend next weekend.
Yeah,
Big wrestling weekend. I look forward to it. Um, you
yeah.
know,
I'll. Well, I don't know what I'm doing for Memorial Day weekend though.
yeah, I'm I think
Yeah,
I'll make I could definitely try to see if I could. The cool thing, honestly, with the Saturday pay-per-views, I might not catch it. And the beauty of these things streaming, hello
oh
AEW,
yeah,
is that
yeah,
I don't have to watch the shit live. I just gotta
yeah.
stay away from the spoilers. But when I get in for whatever I'm doing, I could throw it
You
on.
just boom, throw it on. Yeah,
I could fall asleep to it. Whatever I miss, I could catch up on when I wake up in the morning and call it a day. So I should be straight when it comes to Night of Champions.
yeah,
Just to tie things up on a somber note, we got to recognize the passion of superstar Billy Graham, who
yes.
a pioneer in this pro wrestling space. 79
Legend.
years old. Apparently was dealing with some sort of infection for a while. He's had some health issues probably for the better part of 40 years, but more severely and probably within the last 20. He had some, I think, kidney transplants or liver transplants, something like that. And,
Oh damn. Yeah.
but
Yeah.
he had a long life afterwards after having it done. He's basically the prototype for what certainly the WWF considered what a pro wrestler looked like.
Yeah. Yeah.
and
100%.
and absolutely inspired the likes of Jesse Ventura and Hulk Hogan, and in more contemporary times, Big Papa Pump.
Yeah. Yeah.
Certainly of that ilk. I think even Big Papa Pump took the goatee.
Yeah.
And
Even
Hogan kind of took it too in the NWO, I
a
guess.
little stunning Steve too.
For sure. For sure.
He did. He was a Billy Graham, the wrestler to make the word or the phrase brother prominent
Oh, please, yeah.
in promos and everything. Because I think he was a devout Christian, so he like had these meetings, and everyone referred to him as brother or sister in Christ. So he just carried that over. And as we know, him being one of Hogan's biggest heroes, Hogan took brother and boom.
Not only did he take brother, he took the whole 24-inch arm. That
Yeah,
whole
he
thing is
did.
Billy Graham's
Yeah,
also. I got the biggest
yeah.
arms in the world, you know. So yeah, man. I've known of him, you know, I wouldn't say all my life, but certainly once I became more of a fan, certainly into my teen years, I learned about him, and
Yeah.
he's been such a figure. And so we want to give respect to that, you know, pioneers that help build what we enjoy, what we'll continue to enjoy, you know, during our days. And
Hmm.
I can't think of, in terms of star power, like there's very few that was like that could still resonate like
Yeah.
him. You know, it's like
He
it's
was
him,
like
it's
a,
Hogan. Like he has a legitimate place on somebody Mount Rushmore. Like, you know, what I mean, it's
yeah. He
not
was the
hyperbole.
I think he was the biggest heel in the entire business for a while. Like
I believe it.
I
I don't
think I
think he
was
turned
reading
good. I really don't feel like, I remember one time he turned good. He had got injured and then came back, and they had said did this story where he had to get a hip replacement, and they did some
mhm.
type of story. Somebody beat up his hip, and everybody started feeling bad for him. And that's how he got good. He's like, I gotta get myself back together. This is like in '86 or something like that. I'm gonna go
The
back and watch some
redemption
footage from back
story.
then. Yes.
The
And they
good
had
old
like a
redemption
whole
story.
montage of him training and trying to I get my hip, brother, and all the others, you know. But hate to, you know, I used to think about him sporadically and think like, damn, this dude is still around, still kicking. And so
Yeah.
I
I
hate
think
that
one of the crazy things I read is him and so it used to be him versus Bruno Sammartino a lot.
mhm.
But I think they said Billy Graham superstar Billy Graham main evented the Garden, I think 20 times and it was sold out 19 of the 20 times.
I believe it, man.
So they didn't call him he didn't call himself superstar for no reason. Like
Nah, man.
he had the drawing power
Yeah, man. So
to
we took
put
our
asses in seats.
every 18 inches, as JR would say.
Yeah.
yeah,
Pause, JR.
yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, I mean, but yeah, man. So I mean, you know, don't want to end on such a super somber note, but we just got to
Yeah.
give respect to that legacy, man, because everything you see, you know,
Hmm.
it's a derivative of what he brought to the game. So shout
Yeah.
out to him. Yo, you guys enjoy. Well, next week is festivities. We'll probably come back and hit y'all with something late next week. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In the lead up
Yeah.
to Night of Champions and Double or Nothing. You know, there is some wrestling to be had within the meantime, between time. So
Yeah. So I guess we got to give our full predictions for each pay-per-view.
yeah, because
We
like you
kind of
say, it
gave
might be
you a
some
baseline.
added matches and whatnot.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, we'll check back in and see what the deal is.
Yes, indeed. And that's it. It's another week, another episode. You know, we're gonna get a little more. I think we're doing this every episode now, giving the little what you call it now, the word. See, I can't think now. Words are escaping my mind.
No, it's all good, man.
Um,
It's
but
all good.
basically, we will see you when we see you.
Yeah, it's a
And
good.
until then, be good to each other.
Yeah, man, be good.
All right.